you may get looks, but not, people aren't staring you down. But there are these looks. I don't know what they think, but it's like I can't even give an example of what they might think because it's just these weird looks. Like, why are you staring at me? Or this is 2008. Yet sometimes I feel like I'm in like 1960s, and it's just like it's really weird sometimes being on this campus.
Last year, when going to a party in the frat quads up north, someone yelled out from the crowd, "We don't like niggers." Now, of course, I couldn't label who said that, but it's occurrences like that that the administration and white students, or even some other minorities, will never have to deal with or experience. And have to make that a part of your everyday life in Northwestern?
I don't think so. No, I mean, if it was happening, I didn't notice.
I haven't come into a direct occurrence with that sort of thing, but I've heard stories before, so I know it happens.
Would you like to share one of those stories with us?
See, well, do you want me to tell your story? Okay, well, Marcus Shepard was going to the movies with a group of friends, and was completely fine, wasn't doing anything, wasn't wilding out, just minding his own business, and some people in the car said the N-word to him, directly to him, and he was very, very almost heartbroken by that, because it's 2008 now, and that's unacceptable. It's unacceptable any time at all, but we think times have changed really, and it really hasn't, so it's shocking, almost like a culture shock.
Very rarely. The way I will say I've been treated differently is that I know often I get put on a committee because I'm black. So I get treated differently in that I sometimes have more responsibilities because there are not enough of us to go around. But I've really only had, a handful of experiences that I felt was attributable to my race, and even those times I wasn't quite sure if it was my race, gender, or age. The fact that I was a young faculty member, or a black woman, or a woman, so it was it's always vague because few people are going around explicitly using racial epithets or discriminating against people. So, but very rarely.
Went to my friend's dorm and we get stopped and they ran our wild card to see if it was real and things of that nature. So this type of stuff is kind of frustrating. And I asked the man why he stopped me, and he was like, well, because you look back at me funny,
Oh, yes, definitely. And it's not that it bothers me or that, I am truly upset and I hate the other students, or it's not like that. But it's interesting that I have experienced these things. Freshman year, I remember just walking down the street with my Northwestern hoodie on and noticing that people would cross the street because I was walking, and I'm like, oh, interesting, I'm like, maybe I feel like I don't know, maybe people are scared of me for some reason, and I don't know why. And I know this is really bad, but I must admit to doing this once. I remember walking, and there was a girl in front of me just walking, and she kept looking back at me and walking really fast. And I'm like, what's going on? Does she think I'm trying to get her or something? So I wanted to play along just to make sure that was true. So I started walking a little faster, and I noticed she sped up too. So I'm like, okay, she really is scared of me. And I thought it was kind of hilarious for the short time that I engaged in that.
It's like home, basically. Home without a shower, I guess you could say. But yeah, it's kind of like a safe haven, I guess you can say. you just go there and just be you.
It's our safe haven. Like, it is the place that we can go to and we feel immediately, or at least I can speak for myself in that when I come here, and like, it feels like home. And I'm from Georgia, so I have no family, hardly any family here at Northwestern or in the Chicagoland area, so like, it was important to me when I came here as a freshman that I had somewhere, where I could go and people who I could depend on, who became my family. And so Shauna and other students here and other administrators who work within the Black House is like our second home. So, and it can be whatever you want. Sometimes it's a place where people just come to print and they have meetings here, but to others it's really where our life at Northwestern kind of begins.
I mean, it's a space that people struggled for, kind of a way of asserting their presence on this campus and saying, every other building on this campus, is there and it's serving the majority, but what about the needs of the minority, and I think people see it as like a segregated place, but I don't see anybody ever being turned down from coming into the Black House, and I don't foresee that ever happening.
I don't think that would happen. This building has been here for a while. I can't give you an exact year, but I think that the use of this building, again, which has been open, is dedicated to African American student affairs, as a multicultural center is dedicated to Hispanic, Latino, and Asian American student affairs. That doesn't mean that we can't cross and use each other's buildings or participate in activities, but I don't see that happening.